Just get the
He's not one of us. He's an outsider. He has our condition.
Yes, I do feel personally threatened. To think that one day, out of nowhere, you're gone.
You know, someone, somewhere, wrong place, wrong time. We do everything we can to avoid it, but we can't live in bubbles.
People used to tear our skin off when we were still alive, and like they used to call us monsters.
They found it just outside the city, where civilization meets the wilderness. Until that night, we existed only as myths. That's the way we liked it. No cop ever went hunting a myth.
What's going on?
Looks like an animal attack.
Great.
An animal attack. Well, what else could it possibly be?
Hey guys.
Boss.
Hi Jack. How you doing?
How long's this guy been dead?
Best guess about 2-3 weeks.
No stab marks. No gunshots.
It's a hell of a wound. What kind of animal would do that?
Just the work of claws and teeth.
No ID. Nothing. Smells like antiseptic or something, you know? Get a bit of a scrape of this mud here, all right? All right, we're good to go.
A line had been crossed that night, and an ancient secret was about to unravel. It wouldn't be the first time a hiker had been attacked by a wild animal in this area. But this one was a killer.
Yeah, hi, Doc. A strange request.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out if you had any reports of aggressive wildlife, cougar, mountain lion.
Yeah, even stray dogs,
Any
whatever.
reports from any hikers,
Any kind of aggressive animals. If anything comes in at all, could you reach out for me?
The job should have been straightforward, but it wasn't. Right from the start, things were complicated. If the experts couldn't agree on what kind of animal they were looking for, what chance did the cop have?
New paragraph. The writer will contact the medical examiner to determine if the wounds are consistent with any specific kind of animal. No foul play is suspected at this time. Breedlove badge 461, 23:25 hours.
No foul play. Before long, the cop would be revising his opinion.
It was in the dense woodland next to this farm tract that the body was found. Theories about the animal responsible range from illegal fighting dogs to a brown bear. But a new theory is emerging from local farmers.
Well, this is our worst nightmare come true, isn't it? I mean, the town folk want us to always vote to reintroduce the wolves into the area. Yeah, and they're cute. They're actually savage beasts. Look at that. We're seeing more and more of this. I mean, and now they're attacking people. We're starting to find out through good resources that the government's actually shipping these animals up through the Great Lakes for tourist season. Wolves and people don't mix. That's it.
Wolves are an important part of our ecosystem, and extensive research has shown these creatures shy away from contact with people. They give urban areas a very wide berth. What about the reported livestock mutilations in the area? I have personally investigated every single one of those cases, and I can tell you not one was the work of a wolf. What are you saying is responsible? That's a matter for the police.
Ivy Carter, zoologist. She was always going to be a potential thorn in our side. You see, she'd been following our work for some time, documenting a string of mysterious livestock attacks in the region. Now the news was linking them to the dead hiker. And Breedlove had a horrible feeling they were right.
Inspector Breedlove, this is Ivy Carter. I got your message, and I'm free anytime after lunch.
Identifying an animal from an attack without any eyewitnesses is a lot harder than people think. How long's he been dead?
About 3 weeks.
So the site will have been scavenged, there'll be damage, contamination. It's tricky.
This time, the prey was human. But the attack pattern was as confusing as ever. To Carter, the kill site looked all too familiar.
So, the body was dragged?
Yeah.
At the time of death or after?
During, he was still pumping out. So what do you think, mountain lion?
Lions attack from behind. They go for the back of the neck. One jerk of the head and the teeth rip right through the spinal cord. This wasn't done by a big cat.
How about a bear?
Here? No claw marks, no sign of evisceration.
So it has to be a wolf.
Well, believe me, this isn't the work of a wolf.
Well, Doc, something ripped this guy's throat out. And it wasn't a chipmunk.
None of this makes any sense. The only trauma is to the hands and neck. That's a classic attack pattern of a lone wolf, but a wolf could never drag a kill of this size on its own.
Okay, what kind of animal then?
Look at this. Now, this map represents every animal mutilation I'm aware of that has taken place over the last 4 years. 18 mutilations, all in the same area over a 4-year period without a single sighting of a predator. It doesn't add up. And your victim was found in amongst them.
Hello. All right. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Anything about rabies?
Now, for the first few months, you're fine. Then you get a touch of the flu, but then the virus, it reaches to the brain, and that's when all hell breaks loose. I mean, believe it or not, Jack, this guy, he's one of the lucky ones.
Better off dead. It's quite an epitaph.
It's an awesome little virus. I mean, it's one of the only diseases that can survive by changing the personality of its host.
The virus is as old as mankind. The name comes from the ancient Sanskrit. Rabies messes with your brain, transforms you.
Get anxiety, insomnia, paranoia, hallucinations, delirium. Your body undergoes a complete and rapid transformation, and you bite anything that moves.
Madness, the secret of its success, driving its host crazy. Crazy enough to bite anything.
And then?
Well, if you're lucky, you'll die within 48 hours. If not, you might undergo 12 days of agony. That is why, my friend, I've notified the infectious diseases unit. Let them know we have a rabies alert.
There it was. Our curse. Rabies. But with a twist.
Harvey, can you tell me which animal the virus came from?
Not my department, pal. Our people are amplifying the samples right now, but my guess is, looking at this, it's a completely new strain that we've never seen before. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Rabies. At last, something made sense. No wonder there was no recognizable attack pattern. The killer was insane.
Did you get the file I sent you?
Yeah, I did. I need to talk. Can you get to the university?
When, tomorrow?
In half an hour.
It's kind of late.
It's important.
Forensics had said the virus was rare. It's unique. You see, it forms a bridge between the modern world and a very ancient myth.
When I checked your virus against our rabies database, I got a direct hit. Not with an animal, with a disco.
What's this?
An unusually well-preserved cadaver. It was found in an estuary of the St. Lawrence River.
This guy had been in the ground for a long time before archaeologists disturbed his beauty sleep.
When did he die?
About 1,000 years ago?
Was he an Indian?
Native American.
But this native was different. He was big, strong. His clothing was unusual too. A distinctive wolf skin. But that wasn't all that marked him out. His brain cells were shot through with a deadly virus. Guess which one?
After they analyzed it, they found evidence of an unknown strain. The same one you sent me.
You sure about that?
Identical.
A news alert now. A rabies warning is issued in one local town after
a rabies alert going out to county residents.
This is a scary disease because it is fatal to both people and pets. And every year, we should take a look at how we keep ourselves.
I need to find out about reported rabies cases. Who would I speak to about that?
Rabies vaccination is not
Animal control officials say a recent outbreak of the disease is reminding pet owners to get the shots.
Rabid animals are always scary. But when they start ripping people apart, folks start to panic.
I'm interested in frequency of cases, what kind of animals have it, etc.
It's a very deadly virus.
Disease can be transmitted. The first is a bite that breaks the skin of the victim.
You had to feel for the cop. A deadly creature no one could identify.
What rips a grown man's throat out and drags him 40 feet?
With a rare form of rabies last seen in an ancient human.
It's all upside down.
But there was one thing everyone could be sure of. Rabies is fatal. After 3 weeks, the killer would definitely be dead.
What is the emergency, ma'am?
You gotta get someone here. An ambulance, please.
Where are you calling from, please, ma'am?
In the woods Roberts Depot parking lot. Please, this guy here, he's in real bad shape.
Is this man still breathing?
Yes. Yes, he is, but there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, all right.
The creature that attacked this man was supposed to be dead.
Any chance of getting a statement from this guy?
If he survives.
But fate was smiling on the cop. Seems the Phantom Killer had chosen the wrong place to go to work.
Detective, we got him on tape.
Okay, 4:07 hours. Creature appears from the southeast. Now, correction. Victim appears in the southeast. Creature appears from the south. What? Okay. What kind of an animal are you?
The Great Lakes Hospital, where the victim of this shocking and gruesome attack is in intensive care. Reporter Gabby Burnett has the latest. Gabby?
Still no news on the identity of the man who remains on the critical list. We can confirm that the hospital have taken the precaution of inoculating them against rabies. We are waiting for a news conference where we expect the police will announce they are linking this fresh attack to the unidentified woodland body.
Thank you, Gabby. Meanwhile, downtown, the investigation continues.
Take a bow. You were right. It's no wolf.
Did you find anything else?
Okay, I mean, I've run the RNA test 3 times. It's definitely the same strain of rabies.
That wasn't all the analysis had turned up. The native was Caucasian, and his wolf skin wasn't from a species found in North America. It had come from Europe, 1,000 years ago. And that could mean only one thing. This man was a Viking. The Viking sagas hinted that the terrifying warrior race had reached America. This man was the proof. Ours is an ancient lineage with ancient customs.
I ran a test on the liver, and I found lethal quantities of a derivative of thymol. That's it.
Naturally occurring anesthetic.
You OD'd on painkillers?
Looks like it.
And where would a Viking get a prescription?
Like I said, it's naturally
Occurring. You can find it in a plant called Arnica montana, more commonly known as wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane. It's still an essential part of our life. But Carter was wrong. Large doses of wolfsbane might kill ordinary people. On us, it has an altogether different effect.
All right. The first frame puts us right here. Mark that. Second frame puts us here.
Mark it again?
Yeah, please. I'll take this and run it back to the first one.
So, how many killers have you tracked down, Detective?
I don't know, a couple of dozen maybe?
That's impressive.
Not really. People usually kill people that they know. Husbands, wives, business partners. You bring them in, it's usually all over in about 48 hours. So what do you got?
25 yards, inside a second. That's over 55 miles an hour.
Our curse has very definite perks. We can move faster than any human on Earth. Unique biology has turbocharged our bodies. We're stronger and unnaturally agile.
Lep, from a standing start over this wall, that's got to be 25 feet.
I can't think of a single creature that could do that. Not a wolf, not even a puma.
But no zoologist had ever studied a creature quite like us.
Can I ask your professional opinion on something? Do you know what kind of animal leaves a bite mark like this?
Human.
It doesn't make any sense.
I need to share something with you.
If you know where to look, you can find accurate descriptions of our symptoms. Not in any medical journal, but in ancient manuscripts.
So it turns out that the wolf pelt that this Viking was buried in was more significant than I thought.
Oh, yeah?
It marked him out from the others. The wolf skin was apparently the uniform of an elite fighting force called the Ulfidnar.
What's that, like the Navy SEALs?
Far worse. According to the poems, the Ulfidnar were fearless monsters. In one, this guy called Kveld Ulf tried to kill his own child.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah, well, they were also partial to ripping the jugulars of their rivals with their teeth. Now, when I ran my tests on the liver, I found evidence of the rabies virus.
In normal rabies, the virus tunnels through the nerves directly to the brain, avoiding the host's immune system. Not our virus.
This Viking had rabies in every single cell of his body, including his testes.
We are descended from an ancient bloodline, a family of warriors with legendary abilities. The Ulfedna. The most feared Vikings of all. The sagas talk of their savagery and superhuman strength, of how, before battle, they drank a potent infusion of herbs that transformed them into supermen, powerful enough to bite through their own shields.
What I'm saying is, this Viking didn't contract rabies from an animal. He was born with it. It was in his genes. And if he'd had children, he'd have passed it on to them. And, the Viking called Kveld Ulf, it means werewolf.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I gotta be getting back to the station, but thanks a lot.
Carter had finally said the word that had been eating away at her. But it was a leap too far for the detective. Yet against all the odds, the killer was still alive. Could he really be part of an ancient bloodline? Could these men really be the victims of a werewolf?
Got another lead for you.
Oh, yeah?
Not much, I'm afraid. One of the lab guys noticed it. It's incredibly rare, but there aren't many conditions that change the color of urine.
What?
Purple. It's like toxic waste. When the toxins reach a critical level, the body rebels. It's not a pretty sight.
We're alike, him and me. You see, we share bad blood, a side effect of our little virus. It's like porphyria. We find bright lights painful. We get covered in a thick hair. And when the toxin levels go critical, we get a little crazy.
The injuries are almost identical to that last guy in the woods. Physically drained, dangerously low blood sugar, signs of scratches all over his body.
Any idea where you picked those up?
Not an animal. Looks like he'd been running through the woods. We ran a check on dental records. No matches so far.
Okay, so I got two guys, identical injuries, no ID, no leads either.
Not quite. He'd been drinking cow's blood.
Cow's blood. Excuse me, doctor?
Cow's blood. Breedlove had no idea why these people were being killed or by what. But this guy had a very particular diet. And you couldn't get it from a chain store.
Just thought you should know, but we found traces of a pretty interesting chemical cleaner on the victim's shoes. Iodine and non-ionic compounds. It's a disinfectant used all the time in animals, stables, kennels, slaughterhouses.
So the victim worked with animals?
Given the taste for blood, I'd start with slaughterhouses. There are only 3 in the state that use this specific brand. You got a pen?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys slaughter on the premises? No, that's not what I'm looking for. All right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, how you doing? You cut the meat up, right? No, I'm just interested. Do those guys butcher the cattle on the premises? Okay, great. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Another animal kill, and Carter was onto it in a heartbeat. The police were chasing a creature unlike anything they'd encountered before, and she was determined to prove it. If you're looking for a supply of fresh blood, a slaughterhouse is a good place to start.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm Detective Breedlove.
How can I help you?
I'm trying to identify a couple of guys. One of them might have worked in the meat trade. You have any no-shows the past little while?
We got somebody left about a year ago.
Nah, this would have been like in the past month or so, something like that.
Oh, no.
Mind taking a look at a couple pictures?
Sure.
Before I show them to you, though, they're pretty bad.
That's fine.
Take a real good look.
No. Sorry.
I've never been inside a place like this. You mind taking a look around?
Why not? There you go. Put that on. Watch your step.
Thanks.
Throughout our history, it is our craving for blood that has always brought us into conflict with mankind. In the Middle Ages, we thrived in the wild, forested regions of Europe. But when farmland ate into our territory, the troubles began. Cattle meant easy blood. It was too tempting. And that's when the war started. A war we could never win. It's all there in the history books. Look it up for yourselves. In 1 century, 30,000 of our kind were tortured and executed. All in the name of blood. It was a lesson our kind would never forget. The few dark survivors retreated into the shadows. And that's where we've been ever since. Cautious, fearful, in full view, yet invisible, and finding ever more ingenious ways to satisfy our thirst for blood.
You okay? Looks like you lost something.
Oh no, I'm fine, thanks.
Just, it's getting late.
I'm going, thank you.
As long as you're okay.
Check this out. I had the traffic guys pull the tape from that camera. Four go in. And five come out. And the fifth one isn't doing very well. Just like our friend in the parking lot.
Can I borrow a pen? Okay, the deer kill was here. And the second attack was here. In the house? Look at it. It's a territory.
Yeah, but we're not dealing with an animal.
Look, what I'm saying is, our killer is a very unusual specimen. He has a strain of rabies, one that appears to descend from particularly nasty Viking warriors.
Yeah, the werewolves, right?
Man becomes wolf. Of course it's fantasy. But look at the evidence through a different lens. And sometimes the difference between fantasy and reality is simply a matter of interpretation.
Take a look at this. This is a genetic condition. Cyranemia. Mermaid syndrome. When a baby is born with fused legs. It's rare, but very real. What happens when a baby like this is born into a remote fishing village? Rumors, stories, the fish girl. Next time a marine mammal pops its head out of the water, bingo, it's a mermaid. Well, the fishermen know they exist. They've all got a friend that's actually seen one.
It's the strangest thing. But modern science doesn't dispel ancient myth. It explains it.
Did you find this on a hillside? In reality, this is called holoprosencephaly, or Cyclops syndrome, a deformity that affects the lateral development of the forebrain and results in babies being born with one large eye. It's rare, but it happens. So these are real medical conditions that through ignorance and superstition get embroidered into myth.
Legend has it that our kind was born when a warrior was bitten by a rabid wolf. But was it legend?
Viruses hop from animal to man.
Like HIV did.
Exactly. And when that happens, they can mutate. And that's what I think's happened with this virus. The rabies has mutated into a non-fatal form, but kept some of the most ferocious side effects. I saw the remains of that deer today, and I found this there too.
What is it?
It's a human fingernail. Strange place to leave it, don't you think? There are many old myths that we now know are rooted in reality. I mean, people thought the Ulthanar were werewolves, but they weren't. They were individuals with a congenital disease that marked them out from everyone else.
Over the course of history, we've learned the hard way that being different is a curse. Tortured to the edge of extinction in medieval Europe, when the survivors saw a chance to start out fresh, they took it. In America, no one knew the past. Here, our kind once again sought the wilderness, free from the scrutiny of neighbors. Again, we could live an ordinary life. Or at least a life that looks ordinary from the outside.
So this is it?
This is it. Exciting, huh? Surveillance?
What are we waiting for, exactly?
We're waiting for something to happen.
Well, what constitutes happening?
Anything more than this. But it's not bad, it's sort of like meditation, So, what do you do when you're not being a zoologist? You got a man or something?
Not right now. What about you? You got a daughter. I saw her in a photograph.
Yeah, I do. I haven't seen her in a while, though. My wife and I, we split up when she was 12. My daughter. And, she thinks I'm the bad guy, so, that's how it goes sometimes. She doesn't talk to me, doesn't call me. I tried a few times, but...
Well, she'll get over it the older she gets,
I hope so. I really do.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. Did you hear that?
No.
Listen, real close. You hear that?
Yeah.
What is that? I'm gonna go check it out. You stay here, all right? Ivy, there's something going on. That young girl, I think. I can't see so good, but she's in a bad way. Hang on. They're coming out.
Yeah.
They're taking her somewhere.
Well, I'll follow them.
No.
It was ironic. The cop was looking for me in the one place I had never been. But my victims had.
This is Dennis Bartel reporting live from... What should I say?
Just say you're in Drew's room.
Okay, reporting live from Drew's room. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Are you?
I'm bored. I'm gonna leave.
Wait, come here. Come here. Just wait. Just close the door. We don't want Big Ray knowing about this. He'll freak.
It's on!
No. Just... How do I look?
actually better.
Thanks.
After the torment, the rapture, the glorious moments that surpass everything else. Legend says that we are governed by the full moon. Truth is, that's the only time when your feeble eyes can see us.
Enjoying the film?
Yeah, I guess.
My dad said he would like to talk to you.
Where's your dad?
Sorry for interrupting you.
I was just taking a look around.
I was wondering how long it was going to take you. Come on in, grab a seat. Please. We've actually been living with your aroma ever since you set up your little monitoring operation down the street. I feel like I know you already.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Tell me before the others get back. My brother. Is he going to make it?
You mean the guy you couldn't recognize a few days ago?
Yeah.
Why don't you go down to the hospital yourself and find out?
This situation's already attracted enough attention. I can't risk anymore.
You won't believe what I've seen.
I think I might.
Okay, just relax. You're home now, okay? Can I get her some water or something? Maybe some
Let's just give her some air now.
Okay, I just
That's okay. We got it under control. We know what to do. Okay, just give her some space. But soon.
Gotta apologize for the formalities of all this, but I'm sure you can understand we had to make sure that we were safe.
You're safe?
Yeah. Those two guys that were attacked were cousins. They lived here. First he's killed Jake, and now he's put Jimmy in a coma.
Who has?
We don't know. But we do know that he's like us. He has the same condition.
And we can help you find him.
I'm investigating a homicide and a serious assault. And you people are up to your necks in it. So what's to stop me from just hauling all of you in right now?
Do you have any idea how easy it would be to kill you?
Ray.
No. We're not like that. I want you to put yourself in our position for a minute. And imagine what our lives would become if Chrissy's classmates knew that she could run twice as fast as Carl Lewis. Or that Drew could lift up a car to get his buddy's ball back. Or that we drank blood. Just to stay on top of this thing. See, we want the same thing that you want. We want to find this guy before he does any more damage to our family. So that we can go on with our lives quietly and in private.
It's not the way it works.
Please. Please.
You gotta trust us. We're the victims here. We just need to know that we're safe. And that our secret stays safe.
I say we call my guys and take them all in. What do you think?
There is another way. We could work with them.
And if this goes south?
Then play it by the book. You've got a very delicate situation here. You take them in, they'll clam up. The publicity will scare the bad guy off. He'll get away. Their lives will be destroyed, and for what? She could have taken me apart out there. She didn't. Look, give it a couple of days. Ask some questions. And if you're still sure, then call in your boys. But if they are being straight, you'll get your killer.
That was when Breedlove struck the deal. He'd keep the family out of the spotlight. But until forensics could prove their innocence, he'd need security. The cop was as good as his word. Kept his little breakthrough under wraps.
Gabby, can you shed any light on the reports that the police thinking has shifted away from a rogue animal and that they're now looking for possibly a human predator?
The official line is that they're not dismissing the possibility. The problem the police have is that the investigation is moving very slowly. The police have yet to identify either victim. This means they can't retrace the victim's steps or look into a possible motive.
In prison, Steve had to do the one thing he promised he never would.
The first time I went through my transition, I was about 11. It was right at that time that my parents told me all about it. The one thing they said over and over again was, you never tell anyone. Anyone.
This is one of the stops on our tour. We're going to the bathroom next.
Look what you got to look forward to, eh? Yeah, but not right now. Out, out, out. Hey, what?
For a lot of the kids growing up, it's tough enough knowing you got something different. Knowing that they're okay inside this house.
This is my brother Drew, back in the house.
The feeling of belonging? It's wonderful. There's always someone to look out for you, someone to help.
I got the RBI. No, I love you too, hon.
We build close bonds. Unbreakable. That's what Steve calls us.
Yeah, let's see that. No!
Can you imagine having our condition
They're a bunch of jerks.
without someone to explain why you're different? How you're supposed to cope?
Aren't you?
Imagine being surrounded by people who know what you live through, who understand your highs and your lows.
Dennis, put that down. Ray? She's texting her boyfriend.
I love them all. They're great. And I wouldn't trade them for any other family in the world.
I have 2 sons, 2 boys, with Steve. And I try to keep our family as close as possible.
The zoologist made the most of her incredible opportunity. She quickly discovered that the genetics of our bloodline is complex. The gene is recessive. Not every child gets it. Depends whether the mother, father, or both are werewolves.
How does it work here? Like, is this place like a commune or what?
No. An extended family, I guess would be the best way to describe it. It's brothers, sisters, cousins, second cousins, so yeah, we have to stay pretty tight, right? We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves.
I wanted to ask you about this stuff.
Well, this is the nectar.
It's called wolfsbane, right? Can you tell me why it's so important to you?
When you're having an episode, you drink it, and it helps. It helps smooth the transition. Without it, it's hell.
So where do you get this stuff?
We get it from a plant.
You cook it up yourselves?
We boil it down, yeah.
So, thinking day to day, what's different for you all?
I can sense things. You know, I can tell what you're thinking just from your physicality. I can tell that you had a shower this morning. I can smell the shampoo in your hair. I can smell if you like me.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it, right?
We're as human as the rest of you, but with extreme animal urges. That was the key to understanding us. Think less like a person and more like a wolf.
Wolves have a very strong pack mentality. And within the pack, the alpha male is top of the hierarchy. He calls the shots. But no one ever votes for the alpha. He has to fight for it. Sometimes with members of his own pack, sometimes with outsiders.
A lone wolf. I don't get it. I mean, couldn't he just as easily get himself torn up? It's too high risk.
But it's worth the risk. It makes perfect sense if you think like a wolf. If he succeeds, he takes over as alpha male. Status, breeding rights, he has everything.
A lone wolf. That's me. Searching for a way to make this existence bearable. The pack is the bedrock of werewolf life. Until I showed up, Steve had it all. And that's what I wanted. I wanted his pack. I wanted his life.
Well, we've known that there was another one of us in the area for a few months now.
You're saying he's one of you, but if he's one of you...
No, he's not one of us. He's an outsider. He has our condition. I can't say for sure that he's not born with it, but the chances are that he might be what's called, we call it a bite-in. He's an outsider.
So what's his goal?
He wants in.
Does he want to take your spot?
Maybe.
Despite himself, the cop was starting to buy into the Alpha's story. In the end, forensics settled the issue. DNA from the second attack proved the family's innocence. Steve could return to his family. A family I was intent on tearing apart. Theirs was a bond woven through centuries, reinforced by a shared secret.
I need some help in here.
It was the most perfect force in nature. That was my burden.
Can we get some ice packs on it, please? Testosterone levels are pretty good.
To destroy the thing I desired above all else, so that I could rebuild it in my image. Any drug, if it's potent enough, can push us into a transformation. Now, the drugs that have been keeping Jimmy alive pushed him over the edge. In his weakened state, there was no way he could survive. With the second lieutenant dead, I had a clear run on the Alpha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, thanks. Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
I'm sorry for your loss, Steve.
Breedlove had witnessed this tragic scene 100 times before, but never quite like this. Now the Alpha had my scent. The die was cast. We both knew this wouldn't end until one of us was dead.
So who's next? Shouldn't you be asking the killer that?
I mean, who's next for an episode?
Oh, me.
Yeah, when?
I don't know. It's not for a while. 10 days, maybe.
I don't know if Breedlove sensed the lie, but the Alpha and I knew better.
Just a sec.
His transformation was only a day away. In 24 hours, I was coming, and he knew it.
The green markers are mutilations where animal remains have been found. Now there's a pattern here. All these attacks occurred in a confined space, within an 8-mile radius of here. Look familiar?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is where we usually go, right? It's safe, it's quiet, it's downwind. No one ever disturbs us there.
Now this is where the attacks on Jimmy and Jake happened. I spoke to a farmer who lost some animals here.
Well, no, Ivy, we don't go that far. That's not us.
Carter had unknowingly been studying our alternative lifestyle for years. If I was from out of town, She guessed the place would be marked by animal mutilation. It didn't take her long. Just 100 miles away.
So I start digging around, seeing if I can find any other mutilations in the county. Nothing. So I cast the net wider. Still nothing. Then wider still until I find...
And right at the very center of the small town of Cheney, my hometown.
Usual panics about rabid wolves, bears, aliens, etc., etc. Did you get the article I sent through?
And that's how she found me. A footnote buried in the newspaper reports. The story of a kid mauled by the mysterious beast. Some say they saw a werewolf. Summer of '97.
I think I may have just found our interloper.
I'm on it.
The Beast of Grey Road. It was too much of a coincidence. At the time, the story was put down as another case of small-town hysteria. But the more Breedlove heard, the more the story started to sound chillingly familiar.
Yes, I still got the file. Paul Sparks, animal attack. Made a full recovery. Injuries were quite bad.
Allow me to introduce myself. Paul Sparks. Born a normal human being. Transformed by a single bite. With news of a monster in the woods, I'd gone looking for it at just the wrong time. Stumbled into a hunt. That's how I got the virus. The books are full of legends about how a person becomes a werewolf. Drinking water from a wolf's paw print. Sleeping out under a full moon. Truth is, unless you're born a werewolf, you catch the virus through an open wound. You become a bite-in.
Any idea what happened to him?
16th birthday, up and left. Gone. His family followed soon after.
For 10 years, I had to manage my condition on my own, trying to understand what I was. Moving from place to place, never staying long enough in one town for anyone to spot my strange needs. Hiding, moving, hunting in the darkness. Until I arrived in Rapid Falls and realized I was not alone.
How old did you say he wasn't?
He'd be 12 years older now, right in his prime.
I've seen him.
Where?
It was, in the woods near the, animal kill. He was in a van.
Do you remember anything else?
No.
The tags on the van?
No. Wait, there... He had that herb, wolfsbane. He had a bunch of it hanging from his rear mirror.
So now they knew who I was. The big question was where. Think like a wolf. As long as I could smell them, they couldn't smell me. It's the oldest hunting trick in the book.
The prevailing wind is off the lake, but it changes, doesn't it? When you're stalking prey, you need to stay downwind so they don't pick up your scent. I think he lives in the van. He keeps moving to stay downwind. That's how he's kept his presence a secret.
If you see him, just call in the location. We'll pick him up, okay? Just stay in the car. I'm gonna head straight to the house. Maybe they'll recognize him.
Gotcha.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
It's tonight.
Ivy!
Jack, listen, I know how he does it. He transforms using wolfsbane, and in small quantities it's a painkiller, but concentrated it's toxic. It creates a massive shock to the system, and it pushes him into an episode.
I don't want you in there. You need to get out.
Okay, I'm at Rapid Falls Wood, about half a mile from the lake. Okay.
.461 has a 1033 north entrance to Rapid Falls Park. I need some assistance down here. Send some units, please. I need the state police chopper as well, if it's available. I'm looking for one male suspect, armed and dangerous.
Ivy! Ivy! Ivy!
Why are you doing this?
Ivy!
Are you hurt?
Steve saved me.
So this is how my story ended. A lone wolf who never won his pack.
We got another wolf attack.
After years of cohabitation, the werewolves were on the run again. With me dead, Breedlove was in no hurry to track them down. It was, after all, an internal dispute, solved the werewolf way.
Ivy, by now I'm sure you've worked it all out. Steve is going to take us away. You're the only person I've ever talked to about who I am. Please, please keep it that way, for all our sakes. Oh, and Ray says hello. Chrissy.
For Carter, we were a species worthy of closer study. But first, she'd have to find the pack that doesn't want to be found. Dark survivors. Out there. Somewhere.